this homework, because if you skipped it, you are going to have a real hard time figuring out how well your ads did. So go back, establish the baseline, figure out how much your books made so far this month. Just the books you're advertising. Because if you don't know how much your book earned before ads, then you are going to find it almost impossible to figure out how well they worked over the course of this week. Here's what you're going to learn today in video number 1. You're going to learn why book titles are really, really solid targets for your ads. You're going to learn how to research hundreds of keywords with just a few clicks without using Yasiv, which as of the time of this video is no longer functional. You're going to learn what steps you can take to prep your findings to use in Amazon ads. And you're going to learn how to write an easy line of copy that specifically targets readers who read in your genre. Here's what you're going to need: internet browser, spreadsheet, a willingness to at least try to learn Excel or Google Sheets, and about 30 minutes to watch the video, 30 to 60 minutes to do the homework. I really recommend you do this on a laptop or a desktop computer. It's going to be really hard to actually do the work on your phone or on a tablet. Now, anything can be a keyword, which means any word anyone types into a search box on Amazon could be something you use as a target for your ad. It doesn't just have to be romance novels or superhero novels or paranormal cozy novels. It can be book titles, author names, genre tropes, like billionaire romance, random words you think up in the shower, misspellings of titles. It can be anything and everything. And when you target a certain word or phrase, then your ad may show up when a reader searches for that term or title. They search paranormal cozy and you targeted paranormal cozy, your book may show up. Now, I recommend having a document that's just kind of your scratch pad for coming up with any and all keyword or research ideas going forward, especially if it's a term that you want to look deeper into so that you can do further research and create all sorts of lists based off of that word. Now, thinking up new and unusual targets is a creative process, and a lot of authors actually find it fun. Now, don't go down the rabbit hole of doing it 8 hours a week, but it can be fun, and I hope that you can learn to look forward to it. Now, as I've said, our go-to tool was Yasiv, which quickly generated the list of books that people also bought when they bought a certain book that you're searching. You could look up, what do people tend to buy when they buy Harry Potter? You could look that up easily on Yasiv with a few clicks. Unfortunately, Amazon changed the software that it uses for these kind of processes, and the website stopped working. Now, it's important to remember, Yasiv was a time saver, and you can still, and I still recommend, manually copying and pasting that list of also bots. It takes a little bit of time, but these are very strong, very relevant keywords, so it is worth still collecting them. And when we get an easier, faster method for that, we are going to use it. So all you have to do is scroll down to a book's also bots, which I'm now seeing a lot towards the bottom of a page. Highlight the titles, scroll across them, copy, paste them into a spreadsheet. It's not perfect, I will admit this, but it is free, and before any fancy tools like Yasiv existed, authors used this process for years to gather relevant targets. So we have the manual method that is at our disposal. We do not have to ignore that for the fancy tools. Another tool, and a good friend of mine, Dave Chesson, has a wonderful piece of software called Publisher Rocket. It used to be called KDP Rocket. This is a great piece of paid software that you can purchase that will help you reduce the time you spend on keyword research. Really great tool, comes up with some great keyword lists, and he has a free course, I believe, walking you through using it. So we won't cover how to use that software here today. Now, the other alternative, and one that we are going to cover in depth today, is the Instant Data Scraper. This is a plugin for the Google Chrome browser. That means, yes, you would need to use Google Chrome in order to use this piece of software. Now, what we're going to try to do here with Instant Data Scraper, which I will give a hat tip. It was first introduced to me by BookBub and Facebook ad coach Alana Terry. Hey, Alana. This can reliably grab keywords from most non-Amazon websites. I have tested it. I have talked to a few students of mine who have been able to get it to work. I have not been able to get it to work on Amazon consistently, but it has worked for me on non-Amazon websites. Now, it's important to remember, targets that aren't related to your book will decrease the effectiveness of your ad. Something like Harry Potter, which of course is a popular search term, is going to do nothing, and it's actually going to hold back your World War II historical fiction novel because it's not related. It is irrelevant. It is not relevant, and relevancy is a big factor for Amazon ads. Later, I am going to show off how to use the scraper on one site in particular, and you are going to find that extremely helpful. I'm making all sorts of noise by the side here. I knocked a little carrying case that Ariel, the mermaid, is in. Your use of this tool is only hampered by your imagination. Could you use it on another ebook retailer like Kobo or Barnes & Noble? Absolutely. Could you use this on some book review site that has a list of relevant books? Absolutely. Could you use it anywhere and everywhere that isn't Amazon? Yes, for the most part, the answer is yes. Now, this is a finicky tool. Why do I still talk about using manual keyword generation and paid tools like Publisher Rocket if we have something free? Free is always better, right? It does not always run like clockwork. It sometimes needs a refresh or two, which can slow down your process. Now, I'm going to take the attitude that it's no big deal when this free tool doesn't work, because it's a free tool. Hooray, I'm grateful for the free tool. And when it works, it is an exciting gift that I'm very excited about. But don't get bent out of shape when it doesn't work, because, hey, you're getting it for free. Publisher Rocket works all the time, pretty much, because Dave and company do an amazing job making that software run. I want to keep your expectations in line before we dive into the step-by-step. So how do you use Instant Data Scraper? First, you're going to install and enable the plugin on Google Chrome. I will have a link in this post, but you can also just Google Instant Data Scraper and it will come up. Then you want to visit the page that you want to gather data from. And you're going to click the Instant Data Scraper icon, which may cause you to have to refresh the page if Chrome prompts you to do so. Once you're inside Data Scraper, you're going to check the information that the plugin has crawled. It might have looked at the wrong table of information. When I've tried to use this on Amazon, it pulls up all sorts of weird tables, not the table I want it to look at. The table being the list of information that you want to gather. If the Data Scraper has pulled in the info you want, then you click the Locate Next button if it is more than one page of data. If not, keep clicking. Try another table. Try another table. Please find the information I want until you select the list of books. And don't worry, yes, there will be a screen share of all of this. After you click the Locate Next button, use your pointer, your mouse, your trackpad to find the next button on the page. So We are going to look at lists on Goodreads. And so in our example and in our homework, so this next button is at the bottom of every Goodreads page. Then you're going to click the Start Crawling button. Once you've collected your keywords, you can click CSV or XLSX. That is a list of numbers, or it is an Excel document. Those are what those are. I think it's CSV is comma separated value. To download the file and open it in Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets or whatever, whatever spreadsheet program you enjoy. Then you're going to open that document, check out your brand new list of targets, and from there, you can repeat steps 1 through 6 with a new page of potential keywords. Now, these keywords will need a little bit of tender love and care, but we're going to go into that after I show off this tool. Now, where should we use the plugin? Since Instant Data Scraper does not work well and reliably on Amazon, we're going to use Goodreads lists, lists of books. These are also known as Listopia. These user-generated collections of book titles, they serve as a solid resource of keywords. If I had to choose what you'd use first, it's probably the manual selection method. But a good second are these lists of books. Like I say, it won't be as relevant as AlsoBots. So AlsoBots are still recommended using that manual keyword harvesting tool. Now this seems like a cool plugin to see in action. Oh, it is. I'm going to show you. So I did just want to show you first, if we just search any term on Amazon, I'm going to look at superhero novels. We see this sponsored ad for I Could Lift My Finger and Black Out the Sun. So we see this is an ad, and we see this is an ad here. These are the ads. Here's the copy that they use. Here's the copy that they use. And these titles are obviously targeting this keyword that we're searching. So that is how the ads show up for different search terms. That is how the keywords work. If I just titled For I Could Lift My Finger, For I Could Lift My Finger, we actually don't see any sponsored. So maybe there's an opportunity there for me. Now, where is Baby's Belly Button? I could potentially target people who are looking for this book in order to find a way to get my superhero novel to show up. So when we are gathering keywords, we're going to use Instant Data Scraper. You could just Google Instant Data Scraper. Here's what it looks like. It looks like a Pokemon ball. And then you won't have Remove from Chrome. You'll have an install button. You install it. And then it shows up as this little itty bitty Pokeball up here. And you'll see that it says Instant Data Scraper. So we go to goodreads.com to find our list. And I am going to show you the manual method in just a second here. Click on Browse, and you go to Lists. And here we are in Listopia. You can look at all sorts of lists. You can search lists. Let's say we're going to look up Cozy Paranormal. Let's see what comes up. Paranormal Cozy Mysteries. There they are right there. You may only find one list of books for your particular subgenre or no lists of books. But here we are in these paranormal cozy mystery books. Now you'll see we could certainly highlight, copy everything using a manual method, and that is still fine to do. But when we go to the bottom here, we see, oh, there's 4 whole pages here. So we want to use our Instant Data Scraper. Now it's highlighted in white, which means when I click it, I'm going to need to reload the page to use this extension. So I'm going to click the reload button. And now it is ready to use. Our Pokeball is primed. I'm going to click it again here, and you'll see it pops up. Let me move this down a little bit. It pops up this Instant Data Scraper info, and you'll see here it's highlighting that list of books. It found it right away. But if I click Try Another Table, it's going to look for something else. Try another table. Try another table. Now I think I might have messed it up. So and we clicked Try Another Table, and it looks like it's going to pop this up. There we go. So we have that first 100. So we're going to click Locate the next button. So now we're going to go down here. And there is literally a button that says Next. So we're going to click it. We have clicked it. Now we go back to Instant Data Scraper, and it's going to say Start Crawling. Now you may want to play around with some of these delays because some websites will kick you off if you crawl too much. But you'll see here, the plugin working here, it's highlighting, it's magically gathering, it's going through. You'll see the number of rows collected has gone up to 200, now to 300. It is gathering all of these keywords. And it collected the 346. So now we can download it. Clicking CSV. I like to name these. So I'll say Add Challenge Video Number 1, Paranormal Cozy. And I always like to put a date. I'm recording this on April 9th. So I've saved it. There it is. Let's open it up. Let's make sure it is the right size. And we have it here, folks. Here is our list. Now, it has a lot of other stuff. But if we look here in column D, look at all of these keywords. These are a bunch of Paranormal Cozy keywords. Now, we also have author names. We could use those as well if we so chose. But for now, we're just going to focus on these book titles. Now, before we go back to the fun, I want to go to any book page. Let's go to this superhero book, and we're going to take a look for the also bots. So, we see books you may like. That's not also bots. Sponsored products related to this item. That's not what we want. Scroll down, scroll down. People who read this book also read, and people who bought this book also bought. See, this is actually new. I always see something new. Customers who read this book also read appears to be something related to Kindle Unlimited. So, if we highlight here, here are all of our manual selections. I'm just clicking and dragging my mouse, folks. Clicking and dragging my mouse. Copy. Go into a new window. And I will just edit, which is at the top, paste special, and I'm just going to paste as plain text. So there we go. Now these are duplicated, so we will probably need to remove duplicates at some point, but there they are. And now we would just go to the next page. There's 9 pages here, so it's not the end of the world. It's already almost all the way copied. Don't know why it didn't copy the last one. Copy. Go back here. Edit. Paste special text. And there we go. So that takes a bit of time. I understand. But these are the most relevant keywords, and as a result, they could end up being more like your book than this Goodreads list. So it's helpful to have both processes in mind. So what do I do with these keywords now that I've got them? Well, you've got some awesome keywords, author titles, and or book titles and author names you can play with to test out for your ads. And you got, did you see how long it took you to get 346 keywords? About a minute. Pretty easy peasy. And since many of these lists have over 150 titles, they can be split up into multiple ad campaigns. I would probably split that list of 346 into 3 lists of about 115 each. But first, look, Amazon doesn't like parentheses. It doesn't like colons. So it's going to reject some of these keywords. So we need to tidy up our list to shorten the keywords and move things like subtitles to a new column. I'm going to walk you through that process. Here is how we clean them up. First, you want to create a new column to the right of your list of book titles, or of course you could copy all of them into a new blank sheet if that was easier for you. So you create it to the right of the book titles because in Excel, it creates the new column to the left. So you need to be to the right of the column you want a new column next to. I will show this off. But you go to column E on those Goodreads lists and you create insert new column. That's going to create a blank column next to it. Now to move subtitles to the new column, you select the column of book titles by clicking the D, which is the D column, and then you're going to say data and text to columns. There's 2 ways to get there. I'll show you how. Then you're going to choose something called delimited. That means it is separating things by a special character, like a colon or a parentheses. So you can try it with the parentheses first, or you can try it with the colon first. I'm actually going to use the parentheses first this time around. Then you're going to put that parentheses in the other space. There's a column labeled other. I will show you. And then you're going to click next and then finish. Then you're going to repeat steps 1 to 3 in this case, you'd use the colon next instead of the left parentheses. Now, if you used a Goodreads list, the keywords probably won't actually have that many special characters. But if you run into trouble when you use them in your keywords ads, your sponsor product keyword ads, you can use edit, find, and replace to remove commas, exclamation points, dashes, anything that tends to trip Amazon up. And when you're finished, you can drag your mouse over the keywords to select about 150, copy and paste them into a new document or straight into your ad campaign. And then you can repeat step 6 for the next 150 keywords on your list or the next ad campaign. And then when you're done, it's all clean, it's all happy. You can go back to step 1 of the instant data scraper instructions, and start gathering your next list of keywords. Now, I'll go into how I recommend doing this process on a broader scale later on in the video. How do you create a keyword ad from this list of keywords? Well, gathering the keywords is actually the hardest part. Otherwise, it's pretty similar to how you created an auto ad. Pick a name that includes an acronym for your book that you can easily search, like TVS, SPK, Hook 35. Pick a budget, a duration, and a bid. So $5 a day, 30 to 35 cent bid. April 30th for the end date. You're going to choose manual instead of automatic because we're manually selecting targets. Then you're going to choose custom for the custom copy. You're going to pick your book. Now you're going to select keyword targeting because we're going to use keywords to target our book. Double check your bid. You actually want to make sure your bid is changed in 2 different places. You're going to change now I'm forgetting the exact term, but I'm going to show you in the screen share. You are going to change kind of your custom bid, and you're going to change your recommended kind of bid. We're going to change that twice, and then we're going to double check that we changed it twice. You're going to select broad as your keyword type. You're going to unselect phrase and exact, and you're going to paste in your keywords. Then you'll add in your copy, which we'll go into in a sec. create your campaign, and you are all set to go. You can do this for every list of about 100 to 150 keywords you have. I did want to give a note on the bells and whistles. There are